that we have a beautiful harbor, and Nick has been commenting about how awesome this is, and what's going on here. And yeah, for the town of Wilson, I'd like to present you with this hat. Town of Wilson hat. If you want to wear it when you're crossing the bridge there, if it rolls off so big, but we would love to see it on there. Thank you. We don't have a key because we don't lock anything up on it.
That's such a good community.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know you didn't come here to listen to us. You came here to see Nik Wallenda, and here he is.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here. This is a beautiful area. I'm wondering which property is available for the summers. I think I might want to spend it here after seeing this. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm thrilled to be here. As mentioned, Senator Maziarz is a huge reason why I'm here. If it wasn't for him and that first visit that I paid to him about 2 years ago, visited his office and said, I have a dream. And rather than kicking me out of his office and calling security, he said, I like the idea and I want to support it. And because of him, I was able to get permission and get a law changed. Actually, it was signed by Governor Cuomo, allowing me to be the first person in the world to walk directly over Niagara Falls. But not only that, he also brought me in contact with many people, including the Clarks, which, again, we're very honored to be working with. They have been incredibly gracious to us and spent a lot of time and a lot of effort on this project, as well as many other of our engineers, but they've been a key part of this, and we are thrilled to be working with Clark Rigging. So I figured I would answer some questions. If anyone has any questions, does anyone have questions about what I'm doing or my life? Or
Did you, as a child, when you wanted to go to the childhood movies?
I didn't have a choice. No, the truth is, I started walking wire at the age of 2. My family's been walking wire since the 1780s, in 7 generations now. Started back in Germany and came over to the United States in 1928, headlined with Ringling Brothers Circus, spent about 18 years there, and then since then opened their own show and that has toured the world, and again, carrying on a legacy. But started walking the wire at the age of 2. The first time I ever performed on a wire was at the age of 13, and that was about 30 feet above the ground, and that was actually in the Adirondacks here in New York.
When did you think of Niagara Falls?
When did I think of that? I was about 6 years old. We were performing in Buffalo. My parents were, and they brought me and my sister to see the falls. And I remember looking across, and when I go through a city to this day, I'm looking around to see what buildings I'm going to walk between next. And I remember seeing the falls and looking at my parents and saying, "What's wrong with you? Why haven't you walked across the falls yet?" And thinking, it'd be cool to be the first person in the world to walk across the falls. Well, at that point, I didn't know the history that there were 13 wire walkers that actually traversed the gorge, but not one of them actually walked directly over Niagara Falls. And that was when it kind of popped into my mind, again, when I was 6 years old is when I first started thinking about this. And then didn't pursue it until I felt like I needed to build a name for myself. And I broke 6 world records performing and have done a lot of major events around the world and thought it'd be a good time to knock on doors. And thank God that I found Senator Maziarz.
How do you get the wire on one side to the other? And where is it going to end in Canada? Where does the wire go?
Well, we get the wire across by actually a helicopter will carry a rope from one side to the other. And from that rope, it'll go into a series of machines called tensioners and pullers, kind of like a VHS cassette. On one side, there'll be a puller, and one side, there'll be a tensioner. This one holds back while this side pulls. And that way we keep the wire off of the surface of the gorge walls as well as out of the water the entire process.
Where does it end?
And it ends on I think it's the north side of Table Rock, I believe it's the north side, near their visitor center.
What's the distance from start to finish?
Distance from start to finish, that number's changed quite a bit, but it's probably about 1,550 feet. It's changing because this will be a 3-hour live TV special on ABC, and they want to put towers for me to start and finish on, so I'm not walking over a lot of land before I get to the water. They want me to start on the edge and finish on the edge, so that's why that number will adjust a bit, but it's right around 1,500 feet. Yes?
What conditions will be different about this walk than other walks that you've done?
The conditions will, of course, there's that heavy mist over the falls. It's very unpredictable, and the winds are very unpredictable there. I have a TV series coming out on Discovery Science on June 18th, and it's called Danger by Design. It's a lot of the engineering behind what I do. And I've walked the wire in winds of up to 90 miles an hour before, and gusts of up to 60 miles an hour. So I've trained for that. I walked across the Allegheny River about 1,350 feet across, and a height of about 250 feet 2 years ago, and it started raining. So I've walked in rain as well, and my shoes are actually made by my mother. They kind of look like Indian moccasins, and they have an elk skin bottom or a suede leather bottom, and they actually become grippy to the wire. They stick to the wire when they get wet for that purpose.
Scariest moment you've ever had?
Scariest moment I've ever had. Goodness.
You've ever had one?
I think it was when I walked out the middle of the wire on my knee and to ask my wife to marry me, and realized there was 30,000 people in the audience, and I didn't think about what I was going to say leading up to it, and I was mine. That's probably the scariest moment I've had. Yes?
You or anybody in your family ever describe yourselves as funambulists?
Funambulists, yes, which it means wire walkers, absolutely. What we do, we consider an art. All along, one of our biggest challenges was the laws read no stunting. And what we do, we consider an art. It's something that our family's dedicated, many of our family's lives are dedicated to it, but starting at a young age, 7 generations in 200 years, it's more of an art than a stunt. Yes?
How long do you think it'll take you to person?
It'll probably take 30 to 40 minutes to cross over. And we've been estimating that. I've been practicing at the Seneca Niagara Casino, and I'm going a distance of 1.5 times what I'll be doing over the falls to build up endurance, and I'll probably go up to 2 times that distance by the time it's done. And now that's by going back and forth. It's not quite as long as the falls walk, but it's been taking about 30 minutes to go the distance. So we figure with the conditions, probably at 10 minutes, so between 30 and 40 minutes. Yes?
What's the elevation from the bank to bank?
The water drops down the gorge is about 160 feet deep, 170 feet deep, and I'll be between 40 and 50 feet above that. So right around 200 feet above the water. Yes?
How many bones have you broken?
I've broken my finger twice, and I was playing football. And I fractured my ankle at intermission of a show playing tennis, and had to perform the 7-person pyramid and hold it on the bottom with a fractured ankle for 2 weeks straight without having it looked at. Well, having it looked at by a doctor, but they couldn't do anything because they had to finish the run. But never broke a bone performing, always goofing off.
What's the diameter of the wire you're going to walk, and how much of a sag is it going to have if it's going to be pretty straight?
It's a 2-inch diameter wire rope. It weighs about 7.5 pounds per foot. And it'll actually have a catenary or a sag of about 32 feet in the middle. So from one end to the other, you'll look across, it'll drop down 32 feet and then go back uphill. Which is duplicated as well at the Seneca. And over that vast, it sounds like a lot, but over that long distance, it really isn't that extreme. Yes?
You going to do anything to stabilize that wire from swaying?
Our engineers are working on a few things, but since we put it up, we've added a couple stabilizers, and they're more about keeping the cable from twisting under my feet than anything, because what happened is we put it up the other night and we got on it, it was twisting like crazy. So again, the engineers have been working very hard on that, and they're working on a dampening system now that'll be built into those brackets that are hanging on that will actually take some of the bounce out of the wire. But there's quite a bit of movement. It's almost like I'm floating. I actually feel like I'm getting dizzy or seasick as I'm walking it lately. Anybody else? Yes. I have been on the Made of This. I announced that this 3-hour TV special on the Made of This on Good Morning America, I think it was on Friday. So that was the first time I've been on, and I'll be going on it again later on this weekend. Yes. Actually, believe it or not, when I got on there, I got very relieved because I've never been in that view and that far into the mist. I wasn't sure what the visibility would be, but it was much better than I expected. Yes.
What's going through your mind?
Not much. And to be honest, wire walking is very relaxing for me. It's something that I've done for so long that it's very normal. I started walking wire at the age of 2. My mom was 7 months pregnant with me and still walking the wire. So I've walked the wire really longer than I've been alive. So it's very relaxing, to be honest. I mean, there's points where it gets tense, but as long as that wire is rigged properly and stabilized and the conditions are okay, it's very comfortable. There's no net, no.
No?
It's too much work.
You thought about doing a video game like Super Mario?
You know, we've been approached by, you know, of course, every marketing company in the world to do something. So there's a chance. They're working on a couple apps for the iPhone, of course, right now.
You guys are the original Super Mario. So.
That's it, yeah.
Is
Yes.
there any safety device that you're doing? You're not tethered, there's no net.
Not tethered, no net. I will be wearing a safety belt, and on that there'll be a lanyard with a big clip. So if anything happens, I'll sit down on the wire and clip in, and we've got rescue carts that can come in and rescue me, and a huge, complex plan that we've had to put together to make both countries happy and comfortable with allowing to do this. Yes.
What type of celebration are you planning?
You know what, to be honest, celebrating to me is getting away from everything and spending time with my wife and 3 kids. I mean, that's what it's about to me. That's what life's about.
Anything special about your feet that, I mean, does it affect something?
I have magnets implanted in them. No, nothing special. They're just normal feet as far as I know. Yes. My wife does walk the wire. She comes from 8 generations of a circus background. The 3rd oldest circus in the world is in Australia, and that's her family. And then on the other side, 7 generations, they hail from Mexico, and they were the first to do the quadruple somersault on the flying trapeze. So she gets it. She supports me, and she walks right alongside of me. My 3 kids, I've got a 14-year-old, I've got an 11-year-old, and a 9-year-old, and all 3 of them already walk the wire. They beg me to go up higher often, but I won't let them. As a father, as a parent, I don't want them to follow my footsteps. I want them to go to college and have a different career, but so did my parents. Look where I am. Yes, sir. I have walked with water under me. I actually walked across the Allegheny River. I walked across another falls in Canada, actually, a few years back as well. Yes. Oh, absolutely. It's open to the public. I start at 10:30 in the morning. It'll be about an hour long, from 10:30 to 11:30, and then also from 3:30 to about 4:30 or 5 every day till the 22nd. So, and everybody's welcome. It's open to the public, and they have bleachers up, and it's a very, very nice area that they've set up at the center. Yes, sir.
You're walking one way from the U.S. to Canada?
It just depends, really. The direction isn't 100% determined yet. It'll depend on weather and conditions leading up to the day. But just one direction, yeah. I'm not that brave. What's that? Actually, that is part of the TV special. I'm sure they will have a customs officer there, and I'll have to carry that. Yes. Absolutely, yeah. My dad is with me every step of the way. He's been here since the beginning, and my mom is here as much as possible, but Shirley will be here. My mom still walks the wire. She'll be performing in Branson. She'll perform, get on a plane, fly here to see this, and fly back to perform again.
And your wife and kids are here?
They come in on Tuesday, tomorrow. Yes?
Are there any type of conditions that could cancel?
Yeah, you know, lightning would definitely be a condition that I'd cancel, and of course, hurricane force winds. I mean, I wouldn't be that foolish. You know, try to use some judgment with what we do. Yes.
Spoken with the countries making stipulations in order to the clip. You said down in the clip.
Yes.
If they hadn't made you do that, would you still have that clip?
Probably not. No, that's not what our family does. That's not the way we work. But you know, there's certain things that they were willing to allow me to do this, so I'm willing to work with them and make them happy as well. Anybody else? Wow, that was easy. Oh, one more. Hold on. Go ahead.
I want to know your diet, if you have any special diet or anything to stay right enough to be.
As you can see, my friends are cracking up right now. Special diet. No, you know, I try to eat better, but that's why he's with me, to make sure that I eat better. He made me oatmeal and egg whites this morning. Special suit on, you know, we haven't determined that yet. We will possibly wear a very thin wetsuit so that I don't get soaking wet. It keeps me warm as I cross. Excellent. Well, thank you again for having me. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure. Thank you to the clerk.